Where did I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going? These are three important questions everyone thinks about eventually. The answers can be found in a story called The 3 Crowns. It is the main story of the Bible, which reveals the true and perfect record of mankind's origin, purpose, and destiny. The story of the 3 crowns begins with God, because the first 4 words in the Bible are, "In the beginning, God." The first crown represents God. He is king over all creation. Before anything existed, God was there. He is all-powerful, all-knowing, and present everywhere. God spoke, and out of nothing, He created the heavens and the earth. He created everything, everywhere. Because of this, He is in authority of all things. God is love, and He made mankind in His image so that we could love, worship, and glorify Him forever. The problem is that we have chosen to turn and go our own way. In our pride, we rejected God's plan for our lives. We rebelled against the authority of His crown, and we crowned ourselves. This is the second crown. We have made ourselves king. The Bible calls this sin. Sin separates us from God. The ultimate penalty for our sin is death, both physical and spiritual. Our sin has brought a curse on creation and brokenness into the world. Sadness, sickness, suffering, and pain now touch all of our lives. The good news is that God so loved the world that He sent His Son Jesus into the world. He came from heaven to save our broken world and to shine His light into our darkened hearts. Jesus taught us that by following Him as King, we could have a relationship with God and one day live in His kingdom forever. He challenged us to love God and others first. He used His great power to heal our sadness, sickness, suffering, and pain. Jesus lived a perfect, sinless life, and then He died on a cross, offering His life as payment for the debt of our rebellion against God. His sacrifice not only demonstrates His absolute love for us, but it also pays the price of sin and removes the curse of separation from God for all who believe. 3 days after Jesus died and was buried in a tomb, He was raised to life again, defeating sin, death, and the powers of darkness. Then He ascended back to heaven and was restored to His former glory at the right hand of God the Father. Jesus now rules and reigns over God's kingdom as Lord of all. This is the third crown. Christ is King. God has sent His Spirit to open hearts and minds to this good news. His Spirit also empowers and encourages those who follow Jesus as King to fulfill His mission, to love the world and spread this story through His church. So which circle reflects your spiritual condition today? Are you wearing the crown, or is Christ the King and Savior of your life? To move from the right circle to the left, you must first turn from depending upon yourself to be good enough to earn God's favor, or as the way to find purpose and value in your life. Then you trust in Jesus Christ, what He accomplished on the cross and through His resurrection, as the only way you can have a restored relationship with God. You remove the crown from your head and come to Jesus for forgiveness. Which circle would you like to be in now?